Okay, we'll call the Capital Improvement Committee meeting to order at 2:02 PM on Tuesday, March 29th. We're going to discuss our, well, it says special articles, but I don't, Jean wasn't here, so I could use her as a fallback, but we have the console that's going to go on there. I know we're going to have the parking lot pavement, and for some reason, I think there's something else that's going on the special. We'll have that all straightened out.
So this is for the special town meeting?
For the special town meeting, because the parking lot paving is short a few pennies to complete it, so we're going to put that on the special. We're also going to put the console that the cable department needs to replace. That's just it's an internal swap within his department. It doesn't actually come out of free cash. But if we put it on the special, then he's enabled to do it right away instead of waiting until July 1st. So I will, Mr. Vandenberg's not here. So I went through,
But he's not coming, I don't think.
probably not, no, he's out of town or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went through my notes and I could have messed it up, so I'm going to need everybody's help to make sure that I captured what we had talked about. For some reason, I'm a little surprised that 25 is up where it's at. Now, 50,000 comes off of that, as I discussed about the cable console. Is that, Pat, is that the right term for that? What do you?
Call it a broadcast server.
Broadcast server? Okay, so I'm going to make that change on there, just so we have the information correct for the meeting.
Okay.
We're right back. We'll get that. I know we added the lawnmowers on there last time, but going through my notes, I don't know how we ended up where we're at. I know we can go up a little bit, I don't know the exact number that we can go up. But we're like $300,000 over where we started. Because we did confirm with the town administrator and Adam about the HVAC units for both the post office and the municipal center. Well, that's one area we went up on cost, because I believe that the municipal center HVAC was 85,000 before, and then jumped to 130, so there's.
Shocking.
That went up 45 and with the post office, so there's 50,000 there that we added. And with the, we're still up there. So I'm just gonna have to get confirmation that we can actually increase our budget that much. Does any of this look wrong to anybody here, from what you remember?
The little asterisk underneath it, for the public safety and highway building would most likely require a capital and/or debt exclusion.
Right, because we don't have any value associated with that now?
No, but it's either or, I mean, it's, either it's a debt exclusion or it's all paid for by capital from us approving something, or what? What does that mean?
So I think what they're looking at is we have some debt roll-off in 2030 of what our debt is now. So depending on the timing, the debt that would be incurred for doing the building may be equivalent to that, so it would just automatically just keep going, right? Or rolling into it, however it works, versus trying to go up and above what we are now for our debt, which could potentially do a debt exclusion, right? Because I don't think we're bringing in,
So it's not really a capital.
it could be like a one, if I guessed, like $1.5 million a year, so to try to absorb that into your levy would be tough.
Okay, so capital means a debt roll-off.
No, I don't know what any of that means. I didn't put that asterisk on there, so I was just trying to answer the question. So if it,
Well, that sounded like.
so it's either gonna, if it's a debt exclusion, obviously, it's something different than the 2.5%, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, you guys got to fix me on it. This is just my interpretation, and Chris maybe had to weigh in on
I
it
can
too.
weigh in on that.
Why don't you explain it?
Okay.
Bail me out, Chris, please.
The items without an asterisk we're purchasing with free cash or other funds that we already have. Something like the highway department that we can't fund in the budget, we would then go to the town meeting and subsequently the taxpayers would say, we want to spend money outside of the limits of Proposition 2.5. So if the money to service that debt was $1 million a year, we would collect $1 million a year extra every year until that debt is paid, and then that would roll off of the levy.
Yeah, that's if it was in a debt exclusion.
In a
So,
debt exclusion.
so, and Ellie, and correct me if I misinterpreted, but I think her question was, what is it? Is it a capital or is it debt exclusion? So I think that if the timing works where our current debt is rolling off, then we don't have to go beyond the 2.5 as a debt exclusion.
Yes,
That-
if you want
correct.
to service new debt outside of Prop 2.5, you're going to have to go back to another debt exclusion. You can't just continue it.
Right, okay, that's what I thought too. Yeah, so.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So that's more of a Gene Mack question, because apparently I got it all confused. So,
If I could, I think we were talking about the municipal center electric.
yeah, we dropped that. That
We
just
dropped that, yeah.
got dropped off.
Okay.
That got taken off until they figure out what's going on with it, so,
But I think that's where you might be higher, because we had that originally down in 26, not 25. Engineering, oh no, I do see it, okay. No, my mistake.
so we took the electric off, it's not even on here. Yeah, we took that out, yep. Well, I don't know how everybody else feels about it. If you don't have any, if you haven't found any mistakes in what we have on there, I think what we need to do is find out what we have for pennies to spend.
Yeah.
And then if we have to reduce it, then we're going to have to recheck with, let's see, we have highway on here, we have, oh, the school security needs to stay in place. That's to finish off that project. Because if the opera funds that we had directed towards this school security don't get committed by the 31st of this year and spent out by the 31st of 2026, then we lose those funds. So we don't want to take that off the list. We want to keep that on. It's something they really need anyways, to finish that project. And the cable console, we might as well just go right down the list, right? So we have the Chapter 90, which is pretty straightforward, how we've been thinking about it. The post office paving, we had put 90,000 on that. The bids came in higher. That's where the 50,000 is for, to be able to pave that parking lot. The school security, we just talked about briefly. The cable broadcast server is something that's going to come out of reappropriate the money or redirect the money that was previously designated for a studio, which is not currently a viable project for the cable department. So they requested that we redirect that $50,000 to the broadcast server, which has been very problematic and which people trying to watch live shows has been challenging for them. So it needs to be fixed. It's just outdated, and at any given moment, we might have to have Pat run around with little signs or whatever around town so people know the information. Post office HVAC units, that also, I believe, services the, I don't know if it services the senior center or not. I shouldn't say that, I
I thought
guess.
they were different.
They said split.
They may be split, so part of our contract, obviously, we have to make sure that they're working properly. They've been in front of us for a few years now. The first floor AC units here, I think they were in excess of 20 years of what they told us. Those need to be updated, so it's the outside units as well as the inside coil and the reconfiguring of some of the ductwork. Yes, Riley?
Yeah, so where, that's the end of municipal stuff. Where is the town clerk's storage room vault? Is that no longer here?
We had talked about getting more information, and
Yeah, you asked to hold off on that.
No, I said, why are we holding off on this? She's been asking for it for years. But maybe you need more study. That was it, that Adam was going to look into it a little bit and, or be aggressive,
Right.
more aggressive
Well,
about finding.
Well, I thought we had taken it off. That was my understanding.
Okay, well, if we
No,
did-
no, you just, it's something important that we need to do, but we're going back and forth about calling it phasing,
Yeah,
and then Adam had come in and give us an estimate that he had gotten was $17,000 for the heat pumps for 2 cassette heads and a dehumidifier for that area. We only had $10,000 on there. We were talking about whether or not we want to leave that there to give them some money to start working on that project. They have to close up the windows, the painting, there's different things that they
Yeah.
need to do down there. And I thought we left it as, we wanted a more definitive idea, a plan as to what we were going to do, so we kind of,
yeah, no, actually, I
push
have it
that
written
off.
on the side here.
what's it say?
It says, more information plan from Adam and Chris Furno, probably fall town meeting.
Okay, yep, okay, yep. No, that's fine. And that's why I want to go through this
Well, I
to make
didn't
sure
read
that
that
I
far.
didn't
Just
misunderstand what we were saying.
Yeah.
I've already driven Lisa crazy with changing these things. The post office interior exterior painting is part of our obligation under the contract. Every 5 years it needs to be painted. We're optimistic that it's going to come in much less than that because we had a very good paint job done the last time. We just left the same amount in. They carry us through. We'll have a better idea this time around. Adam did request some quotes on that, which he hadn't received as of yet. The highway department loader with the plow, that was another thing that went up. So it was $285 last time, now it's up to $315. The dump truck was, is that 230? That was 230 last
Loader
time?
with plow, was that the one, but are we adding to the 265 that was on 2024? I thought we were taking international off of that and adding the difference.
No, I thought we were just changing the name. We're just changing the name from international to
To just generic.
dump truck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that
Yeah.
265 was already on,
The 285.
it was on for 280.
285, there's your catch, there's your catch, good catch. I'm glad. So this is on, this is the rewording of 24s.
Right.
This is edit.
So this one is going to be.
Thanks, you just brought us right back down to 1.3. Can we all give him an attaboy?
Yes.
No, because he still added $80,000 to it. He went from 265 to 315.
No, yeah.
So that was on.
He's got us all, oh, no, wait a minute. I know what it is.
24.
In 24 is
24, no, this is another truck. There was two.
Yeah.
There was two of them. I'm taking the attaboy back. There was two trucks, and we did take, you're correct, we're taking the wording off. I have to make sure that that's put on the reword, and to edit the
Yep.
wording for 2024.
okay, so it is two trucks.
He has two trucks, so
Okay.
I think this is the 2005 that he said, and the other one was a 2001.
But on his FY capital, 25 capital list, wait a minute, he's got number 4 is a 6-wheel dump truck with plow and sander, and on FY '26, he's got another,
Yeah, he was replacing two, right?
yeah, but that's for FY '26.
Yeah, but we had put one on,
There is one on for 2025.
yes,
But he had one-
but we had one on 2024 as well.
That was already appropriated for international. We're gonna-
Correct, and we're just going to take that off, but he had two of those 6-wheel dump trucks, that's where the confusion's coming in.
Okay, because this was one of the lists he gave us, and then one's
Yeah.
25 and one's 26.
Yep,
And they're both 285.
yeah, they're both the same truck, same size truck.
Yeah,
He's got one on 28 as well.
yep. So where is it on here? It's not the loader with, or I'm looking at the wrong.
The loader with the plow, the one right underneath it, the highway department 6-wheel truck with plow and sander, that is a duplicate truck of what we did in '24 that we're going to take the wording off.
Okay, and they still cost 285? Yeah.
Yes, they're both the exact same truck.
But there isn't one in 2026, right? But
No.
on his new list, there
Yeah,
is.
his list is going on 26 and 28. You want to see a copy of that, Mikey? Don't want to find it?
No, he just, I got another one from him today, so I want to see what today's version is.
Jeez, we didn't.
That's why I took that whole stack of paper that Shirley brought in as a courtesy and got rid of it, because there's so
Okay.
many different versions of this stuff. And this is what, so it's going to be a struggle for us to get through this year. So my hopes is next year, the burden's going to be on each department to use that little spreadsheet that Courtney came in with, that Lisa already has and formulated it and put on the useful life that Chris had mentioned. So then every January, they should be sending it to the capital committee, and they can update their own little list. So if they, like Courtney was able to get a grant and get rid of that tractor that was on our list, they can update their own list. But you also, the committee's also going to be able to see that if Chris tries to sneak in a plotter in his department and say, so you didn't have it on your list last year, where did that all of a sudden come up? Well, it broke and I can't get by. there's a story behind it, that's
Yeah.
fine. But if he's just trying to sneak in another one because he wants one in his room, then we can catch him. All right, so we got through the highway dump truck, the highway department lawnmowers. Adam talked about those. One of them is totally done, and the other one is extremely poor shape. So that was he had two different lawnmowers at 15,000 apiece. So he had a total of 30,000 we had talked about last time. Then we have the transfer to stabilization fund. And that brings us to our final conclusion of 1585000. So I think what we do with that is we get confirmation whether or not we have to take something out of there. I'll do that when I talk to Matt this afternoon, and if that's the case, I'm going to suggest that he email his department heads and we give them this list and say, figure out where you're going to cut something off of that, because this is what we came up with through our process. He did say I could go up a little bit, but what's a little?
I just have
$5? So, I don't know.
concern with the dump trucks. If he's looking 18 months out before he can even order them, then he's going to be getting 3 of them at one time. And then we're going to put 3 dump trucks into the mix all at once and have them all
Yeah.
aging out at the same year again.
Well, no, and absolutely. So the first dump truck, I think, was a 2001, and this one's a 2005. The fire department's faced with the same problem. We bought an ambulance one year, and then somebody was so nice to give us a grant the following year for another one for the same year. So we got 2 brand new ones. That's awesome, until you want to replace them.
Yeah.
So now there's no more stagger.
Yeah.
That's not.
I don't know, I don't think he can stretch the trucks out, so
No.
to get the stagger, you would have to almost get rid of one a little prematurely in order to try to separate and get the spacing in between it. Highway department, normally if they say it's done, you don't even want to buy it for scrap.
Yeah, it's on Facebook arrested with the bucket broken off.
Right. Anybody have any questions about what we have on there, or any suggestions, or issues, I guess, is the best way to do it? The only thing I have is the list that we have. I have a note here on the 2024 truck, which slipped past me. We got to edit the wording to enable him to be able to buy that truck elsewhere if he can't get the international. You read these yet? Yeah, so all these things are in our minutes, so the loader, the 6-wheel dump truck, the lawnmower, and 50,000 for the,
Second page of the minutes, I only have one page.
that's all we have.
This is it.
February
It
6th.
doesn't, the ending, it just ends with the.
I'll be back.
That's a promise, huh?
Yeah, she did do the nice side page. Good catch. I wasn't through that paragraph, so I didn't catch it.
Thanks, Lynn. Here, wait a minute, this is,
The same thing, but
it's the same.
Yeah,
Oh,
flip it
okay,
over.
got it. Okay.
I didn't get an extra.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Huh?
Motion to approve the minutes.
I have a question. Sorry.
He'll catch on, Shirley. We have to wait for our 2 editors to get done.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm a slow reader, too.
No, I'm fine with it.
I mean, I read every word.
Yeah.
So, I can find it.
I'm just teasing Chris, that's all.
One I found, I might have more, but I'm not sure. When, down at the, not the last paragraph, but just above it, Mr. Furno's updated list for FY '25 is the highway garage project at $360,000. The highway paving, but there's no price.
No, wait a minute. So I'm looking, you're on the back page?
No, the front.
Front. And then the extra $50,000 for the post office parking.
And that's paving.
But is this is the highway,
Okay, Mr. Frenno's updated list is the highway garage project. So that's wrong. Highway paving is 360.
That's 25.
She has 360 before the highway paving, that's all.
but there was a comma, yeah.
Okay.
The updated, yeah, I know, yep, is the highway garage project.
Lawnmowers, which there's no price, that's $30,000, right?
Yeah.
Lawnmowers for 30, yeah.
So highway paving should be put in front of 360K. Is that right?
Yeah.
So, do we want to try to edit this thing, or do we want to send it back and ask her to just redo it? Because it seems like things are jumbled up a little bit, I don't know why. Unless you're happy with just
Wait till I
putting,
finish.
so, yeah,
Come on,
I
guys.
guess we can put. Okay, I can see what she did. So, the highway garage project should be comma, right? The word "at" comes out, and take the comma out of 360 between
Yeah.
highway paving and that, so it'd be 360 for the highway paving, an extra 50,000 for the post office parking lot, 30,000 for the lawnmowers.
Yep. A
And the
loader,
loader is in, a loader at 315 and a 6-wheel dump truck at 285.
yep.
Yep, okay. Okay, so if you read that last section about the post office, adult social center paving design was completed at 10,000, which left 80,000. Bids for the paving ranged from 90 to 184. All bids were rejected due to lack of funding, and engineering firm stated that for 2024, they should get a budget of 130. So that's why we're asking for the, or why Adam's asking for the 50,000 to add to the 80.
Yep.
It used to 10,000 K. So used to be 10,000 K?
Which one's that?
Under 3, the committee discussed the BFCC's state threshold, which is 50K. It used to be 10K.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
correct
okay.
for the building and facilities. that did get changed, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and I did look at it online,
Yeah.
and it had changed. So good.
So there's, for the building demolition of 19 Main Street, they're still waiting for a quote, but that's,
No, they did get some quotes. We just don't have it on, we can't put it on this current year because we're already, I think we're way too top-heavy to start with, so
Yeah.
they can't take any more. Unless they surprise us and tell us that
Yeah.
we have extra funds to accommodate that. But they got a price of $65,000, $15,000 for the asbestos, $50,000 for the demolition.
okay.
All the siding on that is asbestos. That's what the issue is for asbestos on that building, is not pipes and stuff. While we're just waiting, everybody got availability for next Tuesday? So we can we'll make whatever edits. I'll make sure it's emailed to everybody ahead of time. I'll have Lisa Freeman email it. Just reply only to her if you want to change stuff or whatever, any questions, so that we're not deliberating and violating open meeting law. But if there's something that's wrong in there, then she'll just ask me about it, and I'll make sure I don't talk to anybody else on the committee to have a rolling, what they call a rolling quorum. So I'll be able to answer her questions.
Can Lisa also send us the agenda when it gets posted here? I mean, because I think that's your problem and your problem last,
Oh, the agenda for, okay. Yep.
yeah, because that, I mean, I looked it up just to make sure there was a meeting, and found out there was, so.
Just a question, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
So should we sort of add something to that, like the roadway paving and repairs, that 360, is that, that's the match?
Well, yeah, so currently we'll use 363 for a number. It's 362 and change. It actually went down $1,000 this year for whatever reason. So we as a committee had decided to, we're calling it a match. It's not a dollar for dollar,
Right.
but we're giving them 360,000
Okay.
for a round number because pennies aggravate our budget. So So that's where that came from.
Okay. And then the transfer to the stabilization fund,
That's for the fire truck.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But we also have another stabilization fund, so
You have your regular stabilization fund, so
we know that.
But what, you had called it something special, didn't you?
special stabilization account.
No,
Okay.
was that it? Or? I
Yeah,
thought it said
it's a, yeah.
For,
And, you know, I understand it, and we all understand it here, but when they get this for town meeting,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
So
whatever-
I'm just writing it down here. Is the labeling correct with a question mark? So then I can. look at
whatever
it.
was passed at town
Correct.
meeting
Yeah.
Yep,
last year.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Which will be crucial, because if you look at 29, we have that fire truck on that we talked about. So we get to that point, you're gonna see that's a little heavy because there's a loader on there, so you're up to 2,900,000. So we'll have to figure that out going forward. It's just something that was requested, so I just put the items on there. But next year, we should take a real good look at it and make sure that we get good information, we can make better decisions. So we're
Yep.
kind of hodgepodging it, and I'm not comfortable with it, and I don't think anybody else is, but we get our information proper, then we can have a much better list.
Sure.
So the stuff is on there, so you're getting back to what I started with, is this special stabilization account. But at that point, we'll either have 600,000 or 700,000 into it, which will offset the cost of that fire apparatus.
So we can move as amended?
Move as amended.
Second?
A motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing as none, all in favor?
Aye.
So just for clarity, I know we just voted on it, but just for clarity, I took the comma out. I put a comma after garage project, highway garage project. I took a comma out after 360K for highway paving. I added 30,000 between parking lot and lawn mowers to identify that the lawn mowers were 30,000. And then that's it on the minutes. Yep. So just a little recap, we have our list. I'm going to show that to the town administrator and Jean, make sure that we can do what's on the list. I'll have Lisa send an email to everybody with the list. If there's something that needs to come off because we're over budget, then I'll have the town administrator reach out to his department heads to confirm that we can take those items off, give us some suggestions, so then we get the next meeting, it can be finalized. I can go to the meeting in the evening at 6:30 to Finance Committee, and then go to the Board of Selectmen with this at 7 o'clock. So it's going to be a busy
Yeah.
26
For you.
for me, I guess. So with the list, I changed the cable console to broadcast server for the cable department. I'm going to question the labeling for the transfer to stabilization account to see if it has an actual name to that, so we don't get confused and put it into the regular one. That was a good catch. I keep calling it the special stabilization because that's what was in my head when we first made it.
Yeah.
Moving forward, send the agenda to all the members. And that's all I have for my notes. Anybody else have anything? No? So with that, I guess we can entertain a motion to adjourn. Unless you guys want to hang out. Okay, she'll do it.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing as none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, everybody. So